Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Jata Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitham Savadutam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitangscha Ashavare Amrita Sindhumai Katanchit Kalo Mayati Gamita Kila Sampratam Hi Tvam Chet Kripamai Vidashashinaiva Kimme Prane Brajena Chaboro Rubakarinapi Nija Nikata Nibasam Dehi Govardhanatvam Ananda Lila Maya Vigrahaya Himava Divyachcha Visundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Hare Krishna. So today is Vasant Panchami. Means really the first day of spring, right? The 5th day on the lunar calendar. It's also the time of Saraswati Puja. As there's Saraswati, like wife of Brahma, goddess of this world, Saraswati, then Dibya Saraswati, consort of Narayan, but then really, ultimately, like Goloka aspect. As we know, before there's any world, right? In Brahma Samhita, Saraswati giving mantram to Brahma, right? Kam Gayatri. Yeah. Or, yes, how Bhak Devi, the goddess of all speech and all of its aspects, sound, song, punditry, the goddess of learning, right? That Keshava, Kashmiri scholar, was said to be favorite son of goddess Saraswati when he composed spontaneously 100 slokas, pure Sanskrit on the banks of the Ganga, when in the company of the primary student educator Niyamai Pandit, disguised as a mild-mannered Pandit, Niyamai Pandit. I think 100 like incredibly wonderful, perfect slokas, Goddess Saraswati like dancing on, off of his tongue. And Niyamai Pandit pointed, but I think, not only did he hear them, but he can remember all of them. I think it was in number, I forget the number, 51. There's some flaw there. Would you care to discuss that? What? Then he realizes, this boy is divine. How can he do this? He becomes, that's Mahaprabhu's way of revealing himself to him. But Saraswati, this is the Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. Right? Saraswati Thakur, the name's not an accident. Right? Saraswatas, Guru is saying, the current that's coming down from Badrinath, from Vedavyas. And Saraswata Brahmanas, it goes on and on and on. So very happy to celebrate. There's a Saraswati Devi Puja, and you see her color is yellow, and all the girls in India on this day is kind of a holiday, and they go to school, and whether they're wearing saris or what are the other things? Punjabis, whatever they're wearing, it's yellow. So it's very beautiful. You see all these girls, and usually, if possible, something new. right? Like new dress, new cloth, and in honor of the goddess Saraswati, praying for her blessings and their studies. You always see her holding, like the Bina, looks like sitar, like a guitar, you know, and some writing, singing, you know, all these different aspects. Bach means speech, the goddess of speech and sound. It's all anavriti shabdat, anavriti shabdat. Through sound you'll become liberated. It's interesting. Vedanta is saying that succinctly. Anavriti shabdat, anavriti, you know, repeated for emphasis. But that's it. Anavriti shabdat. Right. Like the floral essence is what the flower, the floral essence precedes the fruit. Right? So I'm saying, through sound you'll become liberated. Nam Sankirtan Kalo Parama Upai. How do you achieve this in the Kali Yuga? Through Nam Sankirtan, through sound culture, through hearing. Right? There's you know, competing narratives, Krishna-centered and non-Krishna-centered, for what shall we call all things other than non-Krishna. Right? These two, we're hearing these different narratives, they're competing for the soul's wealth, which is her natural dedicating tendency. Right? Through sound, Shabda Brahma. What is when the verse Chidananda Mano, Brahma Prema Datri, Brahma, that Jamuna, Ganga is like Krishna Prem in liquid form. That is why Pundarik Vidyanidhi would not bathe in the Ganga. He didn't want his feet to touch that divine current, considered an offense. So, and people are brushing their teeth, washing their clothes, bathing. So he wouldn't, that was too disturbing for him. So he'd go in the evening when no one was there, kneel on the banks and take a few drops and put on his head. There's also the appearance of Vishnu Priya Devi. Before he became Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Nimai Pandit, he is married to Vishnu Priya, and she's a teenager. So pure, so beautiful, so perfect. And like when we think of Mahaprabhu, how he descended in this world with his gift of Krishna Prem through Nam Sankirtan. I think, oh, Advaita Charja, Tulasi Dalamatrena, Jalasha Chulakenava, Vikrinite, Tanum Atmanam Swam, Bhaktebhyo Bhaktabatsala, with palm full of Ganga Jal and some Tulsi leaves, being compassionate upon the suffering humanity, he's calling upon the Lord to descend. So that, and later Mahaprabhu would say, it was you brought me here, and now you're done? Right? Like those people who invoke the presence of a deity for some puja, and then when they're done, they throw it in a pond. Is it like that? Whereas Mahaprabhu's teasing, he's internally happy to get release from Advaita, saying, no, you've fulfilled the purpose of the Yuga avatar with your distribution of Krishna Nam. Now you can go into your private life, your internal culture, Radha Bhava Duty Subalita Nomi Krishna, plunging the depths of Radha Bhav 24 hours a day, non-stop for the last 12 years. his divine pastimes behind closed doors in the Gangbir in the company of Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar. But we think, oh, Advaita. But then sometimes we, no, it's Mother Sachi after he took sannyas who said, when he said, Mother, this body belongs to you, what shall I do? She's saying, I want you to stay with me, but if you stay with me, people will blame you. Sannyasi living with his mom. So you go to Puri, and devotees are coming, going, coming. I'll get some news about you from time to time. Somebody said, oh, then Mahaprabhu, it was Mother Sachi who gifted Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the world. But Guru Maharaj said, and we have to think of Gadadhar. But Radharani and Gaur Leela, after all. But Guru Maharaj is saying, Vishnu Priya, what is her own, she's giving. We can't conceive of the prem, Gaur prem, in the heart of Krishna Priya, Vishnu Priya. Right? And it's heartbreaking. She's this inconceivably beautiful teenage girl, and she will have to suffer the heartbreak of separation from her inconceivably beautiful, charming husband, Nimai Pandit, because he will take sannyas. So in the Bhagavatam, and one sloka, which can be applied to Ramachandra and his pastimes, but is also interpreted in terms of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tyaktva sudushtaja surepshita Raja Lakshmin. Here Raja Lakshmin means Vishnu Priya. Dharmista arja bachasad yadagara ranyam. Mayam rigam doita ipsitamam vadava bande mahapurushate charanaravindam. Tyaktva sudushtaja surepshita Raja Lakshmin, Guru is saying, means he had to give up the Krishna prem from the imperial throne of the heart of Vishnu Priya. Arja Vachasa, in this case, the curse of a Brahmin, those who were not allowed. So you'll never enjoy family life. Every curse is a blessing. So Arja Bachasa, then Dharmish, Arja Bachasa, Yadaga Aranya. Aranya means forest, but it's also one of the principal sannyas names. It means you won't enjoy you'll have to go to the forest, means take sannyas. And then what? Mayam rigam, duinta ipsata anvadavad. As Sita, she was chasing after a deer. Here, Mayam rigam means that the conditioned souls who are chasing after Maya, all endlessly distracted, seduced by Maya. They're running after Maya, he's running after them. And mercifully. So, Bande Mahapurush, here, Mahaprabhu, Bande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. And that Vishnu Priya, after 5 years of sannyas, you may return to your village, not before, and he is returning to Navadip, and the throngs of crowds are there. How many? Hundreds of thousands, millions, we're told by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Chaitanyastakam. that even gods are descending disguised as human beings to have a glimpse of the beauty of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Sadopasya Sriman Dhritam Manujakaye Pranayitam Bahadbi Givanay Girisha Parameshti Prabhritibhi. Girish means Shiva, Parameshti means Brahma. Parameshti Prabhritibhi. Sa Bhaktebhya Sudham Nijabhajana Upadisham. Mudra Upadisham. Satchetanna Kame Punar Apidashor Yashati Padam. Rupa Goswami saying, will I again see with these eyes what I beheld? Brahma and Shiva disguised as human beings, descendant in this world, coming with the gifts of the love and affection in their hearts to have a glimpse of the beauty, the inconceivable beauty of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. I beheld that. I saw that. And at that time, when he returns, Mother Sachi and Vishnu Priya Devi waiting on the side, and Vishnu Priya, we're told, looking neglected, what's the other word? Frail. She would not eat, she would just take Krishna Nam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Take one grain of rice. She's counting that way. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And as much rice will accumulate there, she's taking that. But when they all come, she cannot come to see him. He's now a sannyasi. This is his former wife. She cannot come near. And Guru Maharaj said very pathetically that but they're in the periphery, Mother Sachi and Vishnu Priya, and she says to Mother Sachi, there's your son. She doesn't say, there's my husband. She says, there's your son. And Mahaprabhu, feeling the pull on his heart, from the heart, the anguish of separation in the heart of Vishnu Priya Devi, he stops for a moment, and his wooden shoes, his padukas, he steps out of them and then continues on with the crowd. And everyone's running with him, and there remain his padukas, and then Vishnu Priya comes and take the padukas and worship them for the rest of her life. At Mahaprabhu Bari, the house of Mahaprabhu, Vishnu Priya Bari, and that part of Navadip, where the deity of Mahaprabhu is. Guru Maharaj once, when we were approaching Murtiwalas for a Mahaprabhu, how should he be? Guru Maharaj sent me there. He said, you go and see the deity of Vishnu Priya, and then you'll understand how Mahaprabhu should be. And that Mahaprabhu deity, we're told, commissioned after Mahaprabhu had left the world, that they brought, the Murtiwala brings the deity before her and she dismisses. Brings again, works some more, dismisses. Brings again, finally, and she draws her veil because she sees her husband. She's shy. It looks that much like Nimai Pandit. And she also, we know, cared for Srinivasacharya, found him, they told him, there's this boy who's totally mad on the banks of the Ganga. You can imagine, if you just miss the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, these are real devotees, substantial devotees. You appear in the world and you're hearing from everyone that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when was he here? It was just here. A year ago, or 10 years ago. Not 500 years ago. How can Narottam, Srinivas, how can they're gone, and they go to raise to those devotees who were there for the past. There's some of them are still extant. So they go to them to hear about Mahaprabhu. But Vishnu Priya Devi here, there's this boy, devotee of Mahaprabhu who's just mad on the banks of the Ganga. His name is Srinivas. So they go get him. She's giving him prasadam, everything, telling stories, Gaur Katha. Ishan is there, they're telling. And his heart is getting some, what's the word? When you're suffering from anguish, relief. So, and I remember once we're told that Mahaprabhu never joked, Nimai Pandit, because we're told as Saraswati Thakur warns in the beginning of the Chaitanya Bhagavad, these are pastimes of Viraha Bhav, all about separation. That's Gaur Leela and Odarja mode. Through this, bringing people in connection with Krishna Leela. He said, do not try and impose the Madhura Rasa pastimes or the union on Mahaprabhu and his associates. So how strict he was, even in his household life, he said he never joked with women or anything. But they said one time Mother Sachi was looking for something and asked Nimai Pandit, where is it? And he said, maybe Vishnu Priya took it. But, so Guru said, what was her own? That's the beautiful statement he made. In other words, Nimai Pandit was hers, belonged to her, and she made the sacrifice and gave him to the world. And the Gaur Prem, the Krishna Prem in the heart of Vishnu Priya, the imperial throne of the heart of Vishnu Priya, that was sacrificed by Nimai Pandit, and the love and affection of Mother Sachi. And really all the devotees in Navadvip, they were heartbroken. As Guru Maharaj says in the Prema Dhamma Stotram, in that verse where he said, tears fell from the eyes of million when they shaved Mahaprabhu's head, Nimai Pandit's head, and he became Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Baihe Visajalahoy Bitare Anandamoy Krishna Premar Adbhuta Charit, mysteriously, as through separation, the heart achieves greater depth and yields a superior type of love and affection. So imagine, in Krishna Lila, Srimati Radharani, her father is Vrishabhanu Maharaj. When she appears, Ritva Madhuram Upabhoktum Kamapiya, Krishna plunders, steals, because she won't give it willingly, steals the heart of Radharani. The remainder is Gadadhar. So he's now enveloped in the heart of Radharani, its radiance forming the halo. The remainder, Gadadhar and Gaur Leela. And Vrishabhanu Maharaj, Radharani's father from Krishna Leela, appears as Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And we're told that East Bengal and what's called Rara Desh, the Ganga doesn't flow there. So by the divine will of the Lord, he has different great devotees appear there. Because you think, in one sense, like it's considered less than most auspicious, okay, put it that way, right? Because the Ganga doesn't flow there, right? So what does he do? Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and they appear in Chatragram, right? Which is now East Bengal, Bangladesh, and other places, great devotees appear there. But that also allows for Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who's from Chatragram. I think it's now called Chittagong, something like that. Chittagong. It's in Bangladesh to this day. Then he goes to Navadvip periodically, occasionally, for Ganga Darshan. Right. So at this stage of the pastimes, Gadadhar Pandit had not yet taken initiation. So, first of all, just think for one moment, if Radharani appears as a boy in Gaur, how beautiful must Gadadhar Pandit be? Inconceivably beautiful and charming. Radharani herself appearing as this boy Pandit, who's very known to be very detached his whole life and very devoted, who's always praying for the welfare of Nimai Pandit, saying, Nimai Pandit is perfect in every way except one. He's not a devotee of Krishna, which is mildly humorous because he's Krishna. He's not a devotee of Krishna. Yeah, it's Krishna himself. But he will become a devotee of Krishna. Even Krishna become devotee? Yes. Under the influence of Radharani. Right. Because, so that's Gadadhar's wish for Nimai Pandit to become devotee. And we're told that because sometime after Nimai Pandit was in Bhaktabhav, that when he's saying, Kahan Krishna, where is Krishna? The search for Sri Krishna, he's asking meets a devotee, where is Krishna? Every devotee meets, where is Krishna? Take me to him now. You know, he's impatient. And he asks Gadadhar, where is Krishna? My heart is breaking for separate. Where is Krishna? And Gadadhar Pandit said, Krishna is in your heart. And then he rips his cloth and starts tearing his chest with his nails. And Gadadhar Pandit said, no, be patient. Krishna's coming. And listening to Gadadhar, he becomes calm. And Mother Sachi is thinking, this Gadadhar is very intelligent. This boy is something special. It's Radharani as a boy. And then Mother Sachi is saying, will you please stay with Nimai for the rest of your life and watch over him? That's her request. And that part becomes realized in Puri. So, but still, at this point in the past, Gadadhar Pandit has not taken initiation. And his good friend is Mukunda Dutt, who's also from Chittagram, the hometown of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And knowing that Pundarik Vidyanidhi is going to be coming for Ganga Darshan, tells Gadadhar Pandit, like, do you want to meet a real Vaishnav? Gadadhar, yes, a real Vaishnava is coming. You've never seen a devotee like this. Yes, I'm very eager. And takes him to see Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who's there, has a throne, right, with silk cushions, 3 umbrellas above, brass pots, one holding betel nuts, another a spittoon. He's sitting, his hair is oiled, he's wearing the most beautiful silk garments, smoking a hookah. He's chewing on betel nuts, his lips are bright red. Sometimes he sees his reflection. And he's thinking, oh, very nice. And Mukunda's like, there's your Vaishnava. And Gadadhar Pandit, what? And he's thinking, this is the opposite of what I had in mind. Because he doesn't corroborate or fit the stereotype. But just, a pause. Before we go and accept someone like that as being a great Vaishnava, listen to the next part of the story. That part's easy to imitate. So he's there, just saying, chewing the red lips and teeth, the oiled hair, nice aroma coming, silk cushions, silk pillows, brass spittoons and betel nuts. And Mukunda sees the apprehensive look on the face of Gadadhar Pandit and thinks, oh, all right, I've got to get Pundarik to come out. Because sometimes those great devotees, they're hiding themselves, they're concealing themselves. It's a filter to eliminate the insincere. So if people will dismiss them, they're all right with that. From an objective point of view, external appearance. If that's as far as people want to go, what they see externally, and they think, some bogus person, some Vishai, some sense enjoyer. The man shunyata, they have no ego that would be disturbed by the thoughts of the people of this world or mundane reputation. He's remaining, they don't want to show what they have. And it takes some qualification to appreciate that. But Mukunda Dutt knows. And remember, Mukunda, anyway, one of if you're the best singer in Gaur Leela, that means you're like the best singer of all time. Now Mukunda Dutt saying, if I speak something, a sloka from the Bhagavatam, that will arouse the divine sentiments in Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and he'll come out, then Gadadhar will see a real Vaishnava. So from the third canto of the Bhagavatam, sings the sloka, Aho Bakiyam Stanakalakutam Jigamsaya Payayat Apyasadvi Lebhe Gatim Datri Uchitam Tatonyam Kamva Doyalum Sharanam Brajema. Who is a more worthy Lord to take shelter of? Krishna, Putana Rakshasi. Putana is a witch sent by Kamsa to murder Krishna. So she can, what do they call? Shapeshifters. She can take on different forms. So although she's a hideous, terrifying witch, she assumes this beautiful form of a girl with a breast full of milk as a nurse. So Yasoda and Rohini, they're talking, they see this very sweet girl show up, like, can I nurse the baby? Of course, Didi, you go. And then she comes and then takes the baby Krishna and pushes his mouth to her breast. And what does Krishna do? Her breast, the nipples were anointed with poison. This was her plan, how to murder Krishna. Krishna sucks the poison, sucks the breast milk, and then her pran, her life air, out of her body. And then she's trying to remove Krishna, and she can't. And then she assumes her size, which is like 8 miles, it's huge. Right? And she falls down dead. And Krishna is there like a trampoline on her breast, cushioned from the fall. And the simple-hearted folks of Vrindavan, the Jnana Shunya Bhakti, they're like, we must have done something pious because she fell that way and it cushioned the fall of the baby. They don't think Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And he's there laughing, smiling, thinks the whole thing, like babies, they think it's amusing what just happened. So he's saying, Putana approached him with murderous intentions. And what did he do? He accepted, she took the guise of mother, and he elevated her, liberated her, and elevated her to the position of mother. He's saying, so if that's how he treats his enemies, Then what about his friends? Who would be a more merciful Lord than that to take shelter of? You approach him with murderous intentions, and he somehow sees some good. Right? And Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur says, so just so you can get some idea, he's saying, if that's what you get for approaching with murderous intentions, then what about if you were just neutral? That would be better, right? A higher level achievement. And then what does it be if you did in a mode of service, dasyam? Well, what about friendship? More still, vatsalya, greater still, madhura rasa, inconceivably. Great. So he's saying, Pundarik, hearing this verse, he's going, Kamba dayam sharanam brajema. Who is a more merciful Lord? And he is thinking of Krishna in this way, lost in divine remembrance, and throws those silk pillows and cushions, the hookah, the betel nuts, and he's feeling such intense waves of ecstatic emotions are inundating his divine form. He falls off that palanquin or asan, and he's telling, go more, go on, keep saying, tell me more of this. And he's fully absorbed in that, and he goes so deep through divine remembrance into the upper world that he becomes fainted in this world. And so he's lying on the ground, fainted, appearing in a death-like trance, right? For 6 hours. Not for 6 minutes or 60 minutes, 6 hours like that. And so when they're fainted here, it's on account of being so deeply penetrated in the internal world as to not be able to maintain external awareness. They're not just unconscious. It's due to being supremely Krishna conscious that they're unable to maintain external consciousness. So while he's lying there in this state, Gadadhar Pandit is saying, oh no, what have I done? I thought offensively about, you told me a real Vaishnava, and now look, I was anticipating the greatest auspiciousness, and now I have the opposite. I've committed offense to the greatest soul imaginable. What is my fate? Yeah. But then he thinks, but Mukunda, you saved me. How did he save him? He's saying, by quoting that sloka, then I saw his devotion. So you saved me, Mukunda. You were my best friend. You saved me by doing that. Now, my strategy will be, if I become his disciple, the Guru forgives all the offenses of the disciple. So now I understand who is my Guru. And remember, Gadadhar Pandit, Radharani, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So when he comes out of that trance, then Gadadhar Pandit approaches for initiation. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, very nice boy. On the Dwadashi of the waxing moon, right? So that would be the Shukla, I believe. Dwadashi. And we're told later that Gadadhar, after mantra dikha, gets the mantram from Pundarik, that Gadadhar Pandit at one point forgot the mantram. It happens. So then Gadadhar Pandit approaches Mahaprabhu, what to do. And he's saying, oh, you should hear from Pundarik is your guru, you should hear from him. But we're told sometimes Mahaprabhu, he's saying, Bap, Pundarik, Bap, like his heart is breaking. Bap, Father, where are you? Bap means Father. Bap, Pundarik, Father, where are you? And they're, why Mahaprabhu is saying that? And this Pundarik, normally that, like Pundarik Kaksham, that means Vishnu. But, Father? Then Pundarik Vidyanidhi comes to see Nimai Pandit is thinking, today my eyes have achieved perfection. I'm seeing Krishna Prem personified. And we're told when they embrace, that it appears as though they've merged into one, and they're also embraced for like 2 or 3 hours. Again, just think of that. Mahaprabhu and they're holding each other like this, and it appears as though they've merged into one for 2 or 3 hours until they release. And Mahaprabhu does not call him Vidyanidhi, which means like ocean of knowledge. Saying because seeing him, he's Krishna Prem personified, he always referred to him as Premanidhi, the ocean of Krishna Prem. And it's interesting to note that the Chaitanya Bhagavat ends mysteriously with a pastime regarding Pundarik Vidyanidhi. It just stops, almost to like make it abundantly clear more is going to be told. So in Puri, he sees, Jagannath has some merciful dispensation to this group, formerly Sabra, hunter-gatherer types, really primitive, he accepted them as his servants. Because why are we not allowed, look who he took as his servants. It's complicated. Right? So anyway, and they have a particular way of worshiping. We know, Ramanujacharya wanted to introduce some like more Vidhi Marg type principles there, and while he was sleeping, Jagannath picked him up and threw him to South India. Like, that's for South India. Yeah. So Pundarik Vidyanidhi is there, and there's what they call madhua, means starch. Like, sometimes you get new cloth, and it's like just full of starch. It's like cardboard. Like on those days when the Indian ladies buy the new clothes and for like special holidays, you see them show up and their saris are like, stiff, because they have that starch in it. It's part of it's like a Bengali thing. But anyway, so Pundarik Vidyanidhi scene. But when it's starchy, it's rough on the skin. It's not, nice and soft. And so he's thinking, they should, remove the starch before you offer it to the deity. What are you doing? And that night, he's asleep, and Jagannath, Krishna and Balaram, Jagannath and Balaram appear to him, and they start slapping his face for like a long time. At least, I think, like, I don't know, a muhurta, like an hour. Just like that. And telling him, and when he wakes up, his cheeks are like swollen. And then he realizes his good fortune, and he's very happy. Mahaprabhu said, Pundarik, have a rough night? No, Krishna and Balaram were slapping me. Oh, in dream. Wow, sometimes they do it in real life, but in dream, that's something. So he's like, with his swollen cheeks, he's in ecstasy. And it's mentioned there that, we were telling recently, if you get kicked by Nityananda, Vrindavan Das Thakur slapped by Krishna. Like, how fortunate you are. That other person, Hari Chandan, who Srinivasacharya Srivas Thakur slapped him at the Rath Yatra because he was like interfering with his seeing Mahaprabhu's dancing. And he's like starting to react, and Pratap, you should consider yourself fortunate to be slapped by Srivas Thakur. And Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, and I think about being chastised, like actually Vaishnav Maharaj and I were in Jagannath Puri in 1977, going to join, Prabhupada was in Bhubaneswar nearby. Later we joined the party there, but on this day we were still in Puri. So we went to the Purushottam Gaudiya Mat. Saraswati Thakur established there at Chatak Parbat. And there's always someone like in charge of the Mat. And I'll never forget, it was this sprightly elderly gentleman named Dr. Shyamasundar Brahmachari. That was his name. And he, like, when he saw, like, there's some guests, he lit up, like, with happiness. And so when it come time to serve the feet, we're sitting down, and then I realized, and he's, very elderly and senior, and he wants to serve us, and I think, I go like, I stand up like, oh, let me help. He goes, no, Bashun, sit down. I go like, and I look at Vaishnava Maharaj, I go, this isn't right. Let me help. He goes, no, this is Bashun, sit down. And then I go, no, I really feel. And then he goes, do not disturb me. And I went, yes, sir. And I sat down. And then when he saw I was seated and he could serve me, then he was like smiling. And so we think serving is a disturbance. He thinks being deprived of the opportunity to serve is a disturbance. That's Vaishnava culture. So, and Das Goswami, what can we say? Well, we can say what Guru Maharaj said, the greatest student in the Rupa Nuga line. That's a compliment, great compliment. The Prayojan Tattva Acharya. Prayojan means the fruit or the ultimate conclusion. And so Guru Maharaj said, why is he the greatest student? He said, because he expresses even more clearly than Rupa Goswami, that ultimately our concern is with Radharani first and Krishna second, through her Krishna connection. This is clearly indicated by Raghunath Das Goswami. In verse, as the one I quoted in the beginning from the Bilapa Kusumanjali, Ashavare amrita sindhu mai katanchit kalo mayati gamita kila sampratam hi tam chet kripamai vidasa shinaiva kimme prane brajena chabororu bakarinapi. Where he's saying, Ashavare amrita, he's saying, my heart's aspiration is for the service of your holy lotus feet. That's his prayer. And after Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar left, he's thinking, that possibility is being taken away from me. And he's saying, it's what gives my life meaning. Like when we say, say mora, say brata, say mora, mantra japa, tapa, brata, everything, the service of the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. Here, saying a direct prayer to Radharani. Normally the prayers are to Krishna. Right? Then here's a direct prayer to Radharani, and Guru Maharaj points out also, Sannyas Mantram is about Gopi Dasyam, Radha Dasyam, not to Krishna. So Das Goswami is saying, so this is what how I maintain my life, this aspiration to serve your holy lotus feet, without which, what is the meaning of my life? And what is more valuable than my life? Vrindavan. That is of no value to me without you. And what's even more, and Guru Maharaj said, a shameless thing to say, Krishna is of no value to me without you. That's where he makes it clear. Krishna, by your side, he's so sweet, beautiful, charming, irresistible. But without you, Bakari Napi. Bakari means the killer of Putana, Bakasura, Aghasura, that aspect. Frightening. Frightening. Only sweet and enchanting and inviting at your side. And that prayer, Guru Maharaj said, although Saraswati Thakur meticulously suppressed any sort of emotions, not to mislead those in a lower position. He said this, when he would chant this verse behind closed doors with his intimate devotees, he said sometimes he was wailing profusely. And I said, well, what is in that verse to indicate that? Heartfelt, mirroring those same sentiments. He has no other existence than this service aspiration of the holy lotus feet of Srimati Radharani under the direction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, and Raghunandan Thakur, and remember also on Das Goswami, the Chaitanya Charitamritam, which Guru Maharaj said, the greatest literature to have ever seen the light of day, all time, all space, all creations, comes from Swarup Damodar and Das Goswami. When, in his final days, when Raghunath was lying on his departure, slowly chanting Krishna, 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 Kaviraj Goswami by his side, and the full wealth, everything we find there is transferred to Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami via Raghunath Das Goswami, including the Swarup Damodar parts. So really it's from Das Goswami. Muke, 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 radha, radha boli, beshe nayanera jale radhe radhe, with his tears streaming from his eyes, soaking his clothes. He's crawling on his hands and knees in Radha Kunda, chanting the name of Srimati Radharani. Raghunandan Thakur, we're told Mahaprabhu once asked Mukunda Vaidya, in your family, who is the father, you or Raghunandan? And Raghunandan's a boy. So what does that mean? He's saying, who's the father in your family? And understanding Mahaprabhu's heart, Mukunda says, Raghunandan's the father. I mean, he has superior devotion, evinced by Mukunda's making a house call, so he cannot worship the family deity, tells the boy Raghunandan, today you offer the bhog to the deity. You know, like, yes, father. Mukunda goes, Raghunandan, he's inexperienced, but his heart is pure. He takes the bhog, presents to the deities, and he expects the deity to start eating. That's how pure-hearted he is. But, the deity is like, and Raghunath, now you take. And deity maintaining that posture, deity posture. Then Raghunandan said, please, my father will beat me. Please, please. And seeing how pure the boy's heart is. Then the deity, all right, sits down and starts, and Raghunandan, I'll be back. Let me know if you need anything. He goes, wait, come back. So then at the end of the day, father comes home. He wants to take the prasadam. Asks Raghunandan, I'm really hungry. Some prasadam is there? Nope. What do you mean? The deity ate everything. He says, come on, the deities, it doesn't work like that. They magically take everything and then leave it all as prasadam for us. Not today. He's saying, what? And the mother, they're thinking, Raghunandan ate all the prasadam, and he's saying the deity ate it. That's a good excuse, right? The deity ate everything. Didn't leave anything today. So he's saying like, show me how you do this. So, all right, they prepare, he goes, and nothing's happening. Then the father steps out of the curtain, and the deity's, look, I don't normally do this. But the deity, just to satisfy Raghunandan, reads down, takes a ladu, and then comes up. Then the father opens the curtain, and he sees the deity is in a deity position, but sees in his hand is a ladu. And he's like, this boy is very special. And you can see that deity. And you see there's a ladu in his hand. And Raghunandan was also one of the principal dancers at the Rath Yatra. So think about it. Raghunandan in one group, principal dancer. Achyutananda, Advaita Acharya's son, principal dancer in another group. Other groups, Advaita Acharya, Nityananda, Rakeshwara Pandit, Haridas Thakur. They're the dancers. It's also Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, whose Sarartha Darshini Tika in the 10th canto is inconceivably wonderful, extracting from what appears practically anecdotal or trivial, Chakrabarti Thakur extracting the supreme nectarine substance there in his interpretations and so much so, in one place, he, like ironically, he tells his readers, he begs their forgiveness for taking the occupation of a jeweler. Right? Like I beg your pardon for becoming a jeweler. What does he mean? Like Chintamani gems of extraction of spiritual substance, that's what he means. Forgive me for becoming a jeweler. And the Gauravastakam written by him so perfectly, perfect prayer to the lotus feet of Sri Guru in all aspects. And the disciples of Srila Saraswati Thakur on Bhakti Vivek Parbat, who was technically a godbrother of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, both initiated, but took sannyas from Saraswati Thakur and Gaudiya Math. Guru said his talks were full of common sense to capture the public. And this Bhakti Swarup, what's the other one? Parbat and, Bharati. Yeah, no, that's Bharati, and then Parbat. And he lived next to Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Swarupganj, Surabhi Kunj. His next door neighbor was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and he goes on, sits on his cement bench. Maybe he's writing Jaiva Dharma, Chaitanya Shikshamritam, or some such book. And he's taking Krishna Nam. He said he would hear him going, the way he was saying, Krishna, he said, it's like a broken lover crying to their beloved who was so far away. He said it was so heart capturing the sound of Bhaktivinoda Thakur taking Krishna Nam in the early morning Surabhi Kunj. Hare Krishna. So many great devotees in one day, by remembering them and their glories, all auspiciousness comes to us still. Hare Krishna. Hari Haraya Namo Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Hari Haraya Namo Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Srimadi Sudan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra. Radhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath. Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Hey Jai Go Jai Gauri Charana Bandhan. Jaha Hoite Vignanas Abhisna Puran. Hey Jai Go Jai Jar Mui Taro Das. Kansabara Padarenu Mora Pansagras. Pandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas. Janame More Abhilas. Hey Jai Go Jai Jabe Braje Koilovas. Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakash. Anande Boro Hari Bhaja Vrindavan. Sri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman. Sri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Gauriya. Jasatar Sata Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Saparikar Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Jiu Ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. And Prayojan Tattvacharya Sri Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Raghunandan Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Vishnu Priya Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Vivek Bharati Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhakti Parvat Ki Jai. Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur Ki Jai. Saraswati Devi Ki Jai. Pundarik Vidyanidhi Ki Jai. Sri Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Sri Gupta Govardhan Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Jamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Vishvavarenya. Sri Lasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Bimalabhadut Maharaj Ki Jai. Seva Vrinda Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Go Premanande.
Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai. Yeah. You love it. Yeah. Give this to Kirti Sundari. Hare Krishna.
Dandavas Maharaj.
Welcome, Vishwa. He's back. Better than ever. He's been shanghaied. No, they used to take sailors in San Francisco who were drunk on a ship, and then they'd be so far away, it would be on a boat to China. It was called getting shanghaied. So we did the opposite. We took you from Shanghai to here. Shanghaied in reverse. Chiang Maied. You got Chiang Maied. Chiang Maied, as the Thai say. Yes.
Dandavas from Tapanandini Didi,
Hare
Vilas Prabhu, Dhananjaya Prabhu, Russia, Madhavi Didi, Turin, Italy, Gaura Shakti Prabhu, Gaura Nataraj Prabhu, Madhu Mangal Prabhu. Maharaj wishing to hear you every day. Dandavats Kuladri,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Bhadadas, Dandavats, and Suchitra Didi. And a few questions, we will postpone them.
All right.
The next
Bancha Kapa Tribrascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Bhavanevya Vaishnavevya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna.